Trash. Alright guys, for real this time, we are going to be doing the 15th episode of Puppet Master, and it is
one of these days you're going to say the wrong episode and get really mad when you're editing. But yeah.
So, the movie we're on is Puppet Master: The Legacy.
I get why they call it Legacy. It was essentially just summing up, but not every movie, which I don't really get. They left some movies out.
So, The Legacy, first off, right off the bat, worst movie of the franchise so far. I don't think you would argue
it's almost unfair to even call it part of the franchise because it was essentially a clip show. It
was 100% a clip show for 90% of the movie.
I only think probably about 10 minutes of actual footage was new.
And that might be generous.
That might be generous. It might be even less. Because there was this kind of incoherent plot going on at the beginning and end and sparse throughout.
So here, I'll just give a quick rundown of what's going on. It starts with this girl reading Toulon's diary and trying to piece together some stuff that we don't really know.
Isn't it the diary that one dude from the...
Well, what happens is she's at the Bodega Bay Inn reading the diary, and then she goes in the basement where a new puppet master who all of a sudden has the puppets. We don't know how this bridge between Curse of Puppet Master and this one. Doesn't matter, they don't care. She goes and finds him and says, oh, you need to tell me the secrets to, Toulon's stuff. So
she just, forcefully just waltzes on in and just, tell me the secrets or I cap you.
And keep in mind, we're seeing no new footage of puppets. You see them hanging.
They're just hanging.
But they're not doing anything.
Like this on strings. And
so there's no animated. It's just it was probably filmed in a day. All these scenes in one day.
I would say it was a few hours at most.
She basically then it starts going into flashbacks because they listen to Toulon talking on a recorder. So it flashbacks to Retro Puppet Master, shows the highlights.
It roughly goes in chronology.
Yeah.
So it's not in movie release. It's in
timeline.
chronology. So yeah,
Retro comes first.
Yeah, it's when we literally watched that a few hours ago. So it was just kind of okay,
I was checked out, but there's not much to it.
I was checked out probably the entire thing because, like we said, 90% of the movie, and it's probably if you did statistics, it's probably more than 90% of the movie is that clip show. So you're you've seen this. If you've never seen a Puppet Master and watch this, you would get a rough summary of the chronology.
But not all of them.
That's a plus. If you don't want to watch them, just want to watch one, watch this. You get some of the cool parts from other ones.
You do see some of the good
But they leave stuff out, which I don't understand why you'd leave. Runtime, maybe?
I don't know. This is 73 minutes. And it was released in 2003. I don't think I mentioned that. So we're into 2000s now. First Puppet Master was out of Video Zone attached to it, so it had none of the bonus features.
I don't even know if they could have did a Video Zone for this one, to be honest.
It was not to it. Well, anyways, after they listen about Retro Puppet Master, they then go into recapping the third movie, Toulon's Revenge, which cool. The effects in that was good. I'm glad we see all the cool kills again, but I don't care. And then after that, though, we do get the first twist of it is that this new Puppet Master guy is revealed to be the kid that Toulon helped save back in Toulon's Revenge. Who cares?
If you blinked, you missed them say that.
Yep.
I blinked. I did not know that.
And then we go into recapping Puppet Master 2. They skip Puppet Master 1 entirely.
A problem kind of going back real quick about the... that would have been a cool thing, that kid becoming the Puppet Master.
In a feature-length movie.
I would have loved that in an actual movie. But I think they wasted it here, because I doubt they're going to go back to it.
No, they never do. And
yes.
I'll get to that after we get to the end of this review. But after we recap this... After we skip the first movie and recap the second movie, they recap the fourth movie. But they don't really go into the fifth movie. They kind of just show the fourth movie, but like it's narrated by the main character of 4 and 5 that we talked about in our previous reviews. So I think they just kind of took the voiceover recap of the fifth movie
and played it
as the fourth movie's
but,
recap.
That was like
but they didn't recap the fifth movie.
Oh, something I loved is when you're seeing Toulon played by the one guy that played him a lot.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden it goes to the recap in the first movie at one point, and it's the guy from that originally was Toulon that shot himself.
William Hickey, I think.
So it was just
actually, yes, they did see. You did have a brief clip of part 1, just the intro, which
it was weird, just because it's like, okay, those are obviously the different actors.
Yeah.
You almost think they would have shot that at some point throughout the series for the future.
Guy Rolfe on it.
Yeah, but
but leading on from there.
To be fair, Guy Rolfe's character, how he played Toulon, I don't think his Toulon would have shot himself, to be honest.
Probably not, no.
Just how he played it. That we're getting off there, but yeah, that's kind of how I feel, so I guess maybe not.
Yeah, no, he doesn't seem like someone who would have. But going off from there,
he would have shot himself after his wife.
Yeah.
Probably.
We recap Curse of Puppet Master, which really feels random because it has nothing to do with Toulon. He doesn't even show up as Decapitron in that one. So I don't know how Toulon knows anything about this, but they show it anyways. And then, one of the puppets, it shows Pinhead shows up to, beat down this woman, and then you see Blade in the background. But I think the clip of Pinhead you see hidden there was a hammer was probably archive footage. From a previous movie, and even that stuff with Blade might have also just been archive footage.
I don't think they did any
animated puppet in this
I don't think they animate. I think it was all archival. I'm sure they have enough of it, and because as we said previously, they've had a lot of stuff they shot stuff for, some stuff, and not finished it. I wouldn't be surprised if they did some test footage of that type of stuff and utilized it for this, because they're just hanging there basically. I would.
There might not be no new animation in this movie. So it ends with her saying, "I'm not the girl that broke in saying to the new puppet master that, hey, I'm not trying to figure out what the formula is to make new puppets. I've been hired by the souls of the people Toulon is trapped inside these puppets called immortals, and they want to figure out a way to die." And then after she dies, the new puppet master turns around and supposedly sees an immortal, shoots at the camera.
I didn't even catch that. I was checked out. I don't know what happened.
And then it's just a title card saying the producers would like to thank all the people who have worked on making Puppet Master a success. Clearly none of these people have made it a success.
Puppets?
Yeah, so apparently the essence that's been put inside the puppets are mad that they're being kept artificially alive. So
You mean the puppets that killed her? Or helped to? Wouldn't that make no sense? And how are they I'm just picturing I'm just picturing her picking up the phone. It's just hello, I'm Blade. I would like a financial transaction so you can get me killed. Okay? I'm just picturing.
I'm a puppet, by the way.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense if they were going to kill her.
One thing also I forgot to mention is after they recap part 4 and 5, which was really just part 4, she mentions how she had to kill that puppet master from 4 and 5 in order to get Toulon's diary. So just kind of a throwaway, oh, by the way, that protagonist died.
Well, they knew they were never going to get him back.
Yeah, he was never going to be mentioned again. But in a way, that's some continuity.
Cheap. But I know it still felt cheap when you're killing off my rule, if somebody's in more than one movie and they're in 2 movies in a series, do not kill them off screen. You do that, or don't kill them within the first minute or 2 of the movie. That's cheap to me, and that's kind of one of my no-nos for movie making, because if it's just if they've been in one movie and then you kill them off at the beginning of the second, or you kill them off screen. Okay, but when they're in more than one, and they're in 2 or 3, it takes on this whole
they're important to the franchise.
You get more invested, and it's okay, so he just got dead.
Yeah, the guy you just watched 2 movies about. Oh, by the way, he's dead. But you need to learn about that multiple movies later. Cheap. And the worst part of this is that, technically speaking, within this continuity, it is the farthest along in the timeline. So we never learn what happens after this.
Which is sad.
Because eventually they cross over with Demonic Toys in a non-canon.
Do the comic books ever?
The comic books do actually continue the story. That is a good point.
Okay, so at least there's some continuity of what happened after.
There's some of the story arcs in the comics do continue, of the newer comics from Action Labs. So there is that, and we will get into it more.
Yeah, I'm not reading
when we get to it, and I'll discuss it with you guys so you can just know the continuity behind it. But honestly, there is no future movie. The Linus Reich we eventually get to is a reboot. The Axis trilogy goes back in time again, and the New Blade spinoff goes back in time again. Nothing takes place after this. We don't know how any of this resolves, and if there ever is a movie that takes place after this, they'll ignore the Legacy.
Yeah, Legacy.
They're not gonna.
I would almost consider Legacy non-canon because it doesn't. It adds so little, takes away so much. I don't think it's canon.
No,
in my opinion,
disappointing.
I mean, we luckily went into it knowing what this was gonna be, so it wasn't like, new movie. Oh, it was like, this is gonna be crap. We might as well get it out of the way.
And it was crap. Like, it was in the same vein as like Gamera, Super Monster, or All Monsters Attack from the Godzilla's Revenge.
Oh.
It's just a clip show, and it's even worse than those movies because it's like 90% clip show. So I'm just surprised that they put out such crap.
I think this is them either trying to keep people interested, or I think it's probably trying to get money for maybe not a Puppet Master movie, but they probably had a project they wanted to do, so let's make a movie as cheap as possible, rake in as much money as possible to put towards this movie. That's what I would assume it is.
And there was a large gap between their next financially funded Puppet Master movie. So just two more things I want to mention. One, before we always talked about the puppet kills, but it's the exact same.
Yeah, they added a lot of the kills that were good in other movies, which is cool.
They're all the same, so I'm not going to tell you any new one. And then, puppet-wise, it's pretty much every puppet we've seen before. Blade, Tunneler, Six Shooter, Pinhead, Leech Woman, Jester, Torch, Jin the Homunculus shows up for a bit in a flashback. All the retro puppets. Even Decapitron and the crappy tank puppet from the Curse of Puppet Master. Pretty much like everything makes a appearance, and it's all flashback footage.
It's legacy.
It's disappointing.
It's a legacy.
So the only other thing I want to mention before we end our review is, right now, your opinion, which is better? Puppet Master The Legacy or Dollman vs. Demonic Toys?
I would actually have to say this one just solely because it's got some of the best scenes.
It has good scenes in it.
One. Because I think Dollman vs. Demonic Toys is absolute trash, and I don't think it deserves to be called a movie. I don't think this one should be called a movie either.
No.
But I don't like how this one was marketed probably as a movie. It's not a movie.
No.
I mean, if you think about the name, it makes sense, but it shouldn't.
It's a short film.
It shouldn't have been marketed like this. I know it probably, by marketed, it really wasn't marketed. But I'm sure people bought this on VHS thinking it was a new movie, basically.
Yeah, no, plenty of people would have.
I almost think that's a...
Well, this would have been on DVD by 2003.
Oh, it's 03.
But no, it's trash.
People bought it.
People definitely bought it.
Thinking it was something it wasn't.
Totally disappointed.
And I could see how that's the type of thing you want to almost say clip show or something.
I'm just glad we went into it knowing it was what it was.
Oh,
it wasn't disappointed.
This would be a very angry review.
If we didn't know.
Yeah, if we went into it thinking it was a new one and it was that, it would have been an angry review.
So, yeah, in conclusion, this sucked. Definitely the worst Puppet Master movie. It can only go up from here. This is the best thing I can say.
But will it?
We'll see in Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys.
Oh, okay.
With Corey Feldman.
Oh, okay. So